पटोमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So Lord Kapila is continuing his description of adverse activities of the living entities, because of which he suffers in this material world. So here you can see kevalena hi adharmena, the person, he is simply taking to the means of adharma. Kevalena means apart from that he does not do anything else. Simply adharmena, by irreligious activities. Kutumba bharana utsukaha, and he is very eager to maintain his family. Utsukaha means very eager to maintain his family by such means. Adharmena, by irreligious means. So what will be the result of this? Yati jive andhatamishram. The result of this will be that he is designated to go to hellish planet by the name of Andhatamishram. And what is this Andhatamishram? Charamam tamsaha padam. It is the darkest region of hell. So this is a very important instruction for everyone in the society. We have all heard about the philosophy of Charvak Muni, who says, Rinam kritva ghritam pibet yavat jivet sukham jivet. So, the idea of people who do not understand religion properly, dharma properly, is that let us take to any mean, whether it is black means, irreligious means, it does not matter. Let us take to any mean, but somehow or other live our life comfortably. So, here is a very important instruction for all of them, that if they do not live their life, if they do not earn their livelihood, if they maintain their family not according to the Vedic principles, then actually the result will be, after the end of this life, they will be sent to hellish life called as Andhatamishram. So, Prabhupada has explained right in the beginning, there are three very important words in this verse. Prabhupada is saying, one is Kevalena, second is Adharmena, and third is Kutumba Bharana. So these three things Prabhupada explains very nicely. What does it mean? So Prabhupada is saying Kevalena means only by black methods. Adharmena means unrighteous or irreligious. And Kutumba Bharana means family maintenance. So, we have come to this material world, and if one is a family man, there is no restriction that he should not maintain his family. It is required. Being a responsible person in the family, being the head of the family, one has to maintain his family. But it should not be according to these two things, Kevalena and Adharmena. One should not utilize black methods to earn his livelihood, and one should not utilize adharmic methods. One should properly abide by the laws of dharma while earning his livelihood. So two very important things. We'll try to understand more about this. What does it mean? So, one is, suppose, according to the Vedic culture, there are divisions in the society. And these divisions in the society is according to quality and work. One must have the gunas, and one must be doing that kind of work. So adharmena means if somebody is posing himself in one of the belonging to one of the varnas, but actually he does not have the quality of that varna. Very interesting, very beautiful example Prabhupada is giving. If you are claiming you are a priest, correct? You will find so many temples, so many people, there are priests in the temple. How do they maintain their family? They maintain their family by the donation given to the temple. Correct? Like, let us say, even the brahmacharis or even the grahasthas in Krishna consciousness, none of us are working outside. We maintain ourselves by the donation, whatever people give in the service of the Lord. So we have to be very responsible. If you don't perform your duty as a priest properly, then you are cheating public. And what is the duty of a priest? We should know. The duty of a priest, the duty of a devotee is to enlighten people in God consciousness. That is the most important duty. So if we take it as our means of livelihood, anyway I don't have to do any work, I can be in the temple, temple will get donation, and by that I will maintain my family. It is adharma. You must do your duties. Then Prabhupada is saying, then there is no problem in maintaining your family. You don't have a quality of a Brahmana. Maybe you are born in the family of a Brahmana. Neither you are doing the work of a Brahmana. Let us say you are having quality. Two things are very important. Both are required. You must have the quality and you must be doing that work. If you are claiming yourself to be a medical man, two things are required: knowledge of medicine and practice. You have knowledge of medicine, practicing, you are not doing justice to being a doctor. What is the use of your being a doctor? Correct? You are saying, I am an engineer. You have the knowledge of an engineer, but you don't do the work of an engineer. Then what kind of engineer are you? Isn't it? So one must have knowledge, at the same time he should do that work. Somebody is not having knowledge and he becomes a doctor. He will create a havoc in the society. I remember there used to be one unqualified, later on we figured out that he is very unqualified doctor in Bangalore. That was in the very beginning. And we used to think that, oh, this doctor is super, very nice. So he used to be in Malleshwaram. Later on we discontinued. So what he used to do, you go to him and you start explaining your problem. He will note down all your problems. Doctor, I am having headache, I get dizziness, I get little stomach pain, all these things. So he will note down all your symptoms. And for practically every symptom, he will advise you on medicine. And after 10 days, maybe those symptoms are gone, but after 10 days again it will reappear. Because he will not find out the root cause. And you are thinking so many medicines he has prescribed, very nice doctor. So later on we figured out that actually he is not able to understand the root cause of that problem. He is simply treating the patients with symptoms. You are having fever, he will give you paracetamol tablet. Then suppose you have forgotten. Doctor, I forgot, I get this also. And then he will write one more medicine. Whereas I remember going to one doctor in Hubli, very qualified doctor. You keep on telling, but he has understood what is your problem. He will listen also. You keep on telling your symptom, but he knows, okay, this is the problem. You see. So, if you are not qualified and you are doing that work, that is also cheating. That is unfair means of earning your livelihood. You are not qualified for that job. So, all of us have to be very responsible. If we are calling ourselves as devotees, we are calling ourselves as Brahmanas, then the quality of Brahmana should be there. Quality of Brahmana is Satyam, Tapaha, Shaucham, Arjavam. We should see whether we are having these qualities. Are we cultivating these qualities? Am I truthful? Isn't it? I remember in Bangalore, at least in the beginning, we were not very much aware that people sometimes can cheat even in the temple, right? Sitting right before the Lord. There used to be one elderly man around, he was say around 60, more than 60, 65. So generally when people are little elderly, we give them some simple services. And he seems to be very trustworthy, and we thought he is an elderly man, he will not do. So we gave him the work of giving Charnamrit. And generally, Indian people, they will put money in the hundi also, and they will put in the Charnamrit plate also. So, it was only after many years we found out that what this person would do, in that from that Charnamrit plate, slowly he will keep on taking out that money and putting in his dhoti and tying. He will come in dhoti, panche, all those things. And he seemed to be some kind of, retired person from somewhere. Just imagine. Isn't it? Then, there was even somebody joined the temple as a devotee, and he thought it will be a good means of my livelihood, I can easily maintain my family. He used to sit in, and he was, engineer by profession. So we also thought that, generally, of course he joined little late in his life. This all in Bangalore. So we made him to sit in Akshaya Patra donation counter. In Bangalore, if you come down from lecture hall to the down, you will find that there is a small section of Akshaya Patra exhibition. This many meals are served, all this. And people are pious, they are charitable, they want to donate for Annadana. So later on, after many years, it was discovered, many receipts he will not make. He will take money from the people and he will not make receipts. And people are simple. They will not be thinking that, this devotee this Swamiji will cheat like this. Can you imagine? Isn't it? You can imagine, cheating outside is different and cheating right in the temple of the Lord. How much more sinful it is. Just like it is explained in Nama Aparad. Somebody is committing sinful activity, there is some kind of reaction to it. Somebody is committing on the strength of the holy name. Does not matter. I am doing Papa Karma. Later on I will chant names of God. So this Papa Karma will go away. Correct? It is considered to be a greater offense. So similarly, if somebody is thinking, anyway I am in the temple atmosphere, if I do some kind of cheating, does not matter, God will forgive me. Isn't it? Rather, we will be considered to be more sinful. Because even after knowing that one is in spiritual atmosphere and one is cheating public, innocent public, actually it is a greater offense, it's a greater sin. Sometimes we find some kind of, there were Bengali, because they come sometimes only for their livelihood. You see. So they would manipulate in the vouchers certain things. So Prabhupada is saying here, if you read this is very interesting. It is specially mentioned the means of livelihood of those who are trying to advance in Krishna consciousness must be very fair. Cannot have unfair means, and you are thinking that I will advance in devotional service. Another very important thing is, and if we are thinking anyway temple will pay me my salary, I will maintain my family, and you don't do the work you are assigned. Devotee should think, I am living on public donation, and if I am living on public donation, for every single pie I should work, slog hard. Otherwise, for every single penny we are utilizing, that much we have to suffer in these kind of hellish planets. Isn't it? And we are thinking, anyway, temple will give me my salary. So somehow or other pass my time, ho gaya kaam. No. So devotees have to be very, very fair in our means of livelihood. And it should be uncomplicated. This is also very important. Because devotees are not thinking that I have to live a life like a karmi. Isn't it? He is not thinking that I should have comforts like a karmi. So he is dependent on the Lord. Whatever the Lord's by mercy it is coming. Otherwise, sometimes we have seen devotees have become so complicated. Some grahasthas, they get involved into some kind of businesses, and they complicate and then run into losses, so much of money gone, then they realize their lessons, then they give up all those things and then they come back. We have seen so many of such examples also, isn't it? So it should be uncomplicated, simple life person should lead. So these are very two important things. One, it is cheating of your occupation if you are not qualified for your occupation and you are representing yourself. So Prabhupada is giving specifically the example of a priest, that he is calling himself a Brahmana, he is calling himself a priest, but he is not qualified, he is not giving education, spiritual education to people. He has taken that as a means of only livelihood. No, he has to discharge his duties as a priest. That is very important. And what is the duty of a priest? The most important duty of a priest is to enlighten people in Krishna consciousness. He should do that. Isn't it? Otherwise, it is adharmena. Next meaning of this, kevalena, Prabhupada explains now. Suppose he is qualified and he is doing that work also, but he takes to illegal means of earning his livelihood. Suppose one is a qualified Brahmana and he is doing the work of a Brahmana, but in that profession, what he is doing, he takes illegal means to earn, to maintain his family. Understood? So two ways. One is he is not qualified only. So if he is not qualified, it is adharmena. Kshatriya is not qualified, he has become a king. It is adharmena. One is not qualified, he has become a Brahmana. Just because I am born in the family of a Brahmana. It is adharmena. or even taking respect from other people as a Brahmana. Sometimes you will find in North India, Prabhupada gives this example. Pandit ji pai lago, Pandit ji pai lago. And what is that Pandit ji doing? Is he really Pandit ji? What is Pandit ji? According to Chanakya Pandit, he has given the definition of Pandit. Pandita Samadarshina, right? That we see in Bhagavad Gita. And he has also given definition. Matravat paradareshu, paradraveshu loshtavat, atmavat sarvabhuteshu, yah pashyati sa panditaha. So he is calling himself, I am a Pandita, and maybe he is having quality also, but he is not doing the work of a Pandita. He is involved in some business and he is calling himself Pandita. And people are coming and touching, Pai lago Pandit. What Pandit is he? So that is also cheating. So one is not qualified or one is not doing the work, but assuming the post. I am Brahmana, I am Kshatriya. Just like we see the example in Bhagavatam, that Kali Purusha, dressed like a king, not a king, not doing the work of a king. Rather than protecting his people, he is harming his people. He is also having sword, everything. He is having club in his hand. But what is the work he is doing? He is beating cow and bull. So, this is adharmena. And another meaning is that even in that profession, whatever you are doing, you may be qualified, you may be doing that work, but taking to black means. Suppose somebody is a very good businessman, he has a very good business acumen, but he becomes greedy to earn more. He takes to some black method of earning more profit in his business. That is called adharmena. There are many people like that. Just like even few days back I was seeing, in one of our worker, barbenders, he has worked somewhere outside, and that man is a very rich man. He is having good enough amount of money. 1 year is over, he is not ready to give this person, some 10, 11 people had gone there, worked for 1 month, 2 months. When we did not have much work, so we allowed him that, okay, you go and do some work outside. This is called, he is a qualified man, that person is having, he is a shrewd businessman, but in order to earn more profit, cheating people. Somebody he has a due to pay. These people have worked, he's not ready to pay. Somehow or other he is, skipping, isn't it? So this kind of thing. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has prescribed something very important, because first lesson which Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna is about the difference between the body and the soul. The whole second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna was lamenting on bodily platform, when Arjuna was lamenting on bodily platform, Krishna started giving him knowledge about spirit soul. Ashochaya nanvasochastvam pragyavadam bhashase gatasu nagatasu nascha nanushocanti panditaha. So Krishna started describing antavattu ime deha nitya shokta sharirinaha. All those knowledge Krishna gave. Then in the next chapter, Krishna gives a very practical means Very important to understand. Krishna gives a very practical means of how to come out of this entanglement of the body by working with the body. Because we are bound in this material body and it is not possible for us to immediately come out of this attachment to this material body. So Krishna has described a method that you do activities in a certain way by which it will be possible that you can come out of the entanglement of this body. And Prabhupada gives a very wonderful example to explain how this happens. How the same work which binds us actually can release us from this material entanglement. That is, Prabhupada says, Krishna mercifully gave Karma Yoga. The same work which can bind us can also liberate us. Prabhupada gives the example of milk. Somebody takes milk, becomes implicated, gets dysentery, indigestion. The doctor prescribes him with medicine, yogurt, curds. It is the same milk, but transformed into curd, it will solve your problem. One may wonder how it is. One may go and argue with the doctor, doctor, with milk product only I got problem. But no, this milk has now transformed into curd, it will cure your problem. So the same karma which binds the living entity in this material world, the same karma can liberate the living entity from this material entanglement. And Krishna has prescribed that yagna arthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. The art of doing work is do it for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, every work we do, it is sinful. Even eating to maintain this body is sinful, even if you are vegetarian. Even if you are drinking a glass of water, hundreds of microbes are killed when you are drinking a glass of water. When you are walking to your office, hundreds of ants are killed when you are walking to your office. Every activity we do, even to maintain this body, even that is filled with sins. So the only method to come out of that sinful reactions which one faces is that every activity you do for satisfaction of Krishna, then the result will not bind you, it will liberate you. Even though from external point it may look like sin. Killing is sin, but when Arjuna killed for the satisfaction of the Lord, right, he was liberated. So this has to be understood. So this is called as, Prabhupada calls this as, in Bhagavad Gita Krishna calls this as Buddhi Yoga. Utilizing your intelligence to do activities for satisfaction of Krishna, by which one will become liberated from this world. So we'll stop with this Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.